right. Let's run through these pages. We will have a quiz on Thursday this week. So I know I only asked you to do the evens, so guys, I don't remember. We're going to do probably the whole first page and a little bit of the second page. A couple of them we'll do a little bit different, just so you are in the gist of it. Okay, so page 147, 148, right? Here we go. So again, if you did it, great, get it out. If you didn't do it, shame on you. You got points for it anyhow. But let's run through it. All right, problem number 1. So they want us just to simplify the radical. This doesn't mean we plug it into the calculator. I mean, what I would expect you to do is this. On your calculator, if you hit second square root 32 and hit enter, that's not a perfect square, agreed? That's a decimal that goes on forever where the calculator truncates it off after a certain amount. So we don't have a perfect square on this one, okay? So we have to start thinking about, let's break this down. So perfect squares, I know I have 4, I have 9, I have 16, I have 25, I have 36. That's probably enough. You need to know how to generate these if you don't have them memorized. 2 times 2, 3 times 3, 4 times 4, 5 times 5, 6 times 6. It's that easy. Okay? So 36 won't work, 25 won't work. Does 16 times something give me 32? Times 2. So 16 is the largest perfect square. So this breaks down to this, showing you all the steps. The square root of 16 is 4, so my answer is 4 square root 2. Okay, that's a nice exact answer. Again, we talked about where you find exact answers in the real world. So let's keep going. Then, next problem number 2, we have root 225. So I think you should all feel good about doing this. Check it on your calculator, see if it's a perfect square. So go second square root 225, hit enter. Is it a perfect square? Yeah, 15 times 15 is 225. How would I know that? Well, you might have it memorized, or you might have to plug it into your calculator, see if it works. Okay? So this one came out nice because it was a perfect square. It's just 15. Okay? A student asked last period, where did the square root sign go? Well, I took the square root of it. I did the mathematical operation to get me 15. Well, where'd it go? Well, again, I did the mathematical operation, square root of 225 to get 15. So I hope that made sense for that kid, but who knows. Number 3, I have the square root of 27. Okay, if you plug this into your calculator, just to double check. Uh-oh, I gotta go back here. So if I go second square root of 27, I'm going to get 5 point something that goes forever. So that's not a perfect square, so let's figure out how we can break it down a little better. Okay, so 4 is a good perfect square, 9, 16, 25, that's probably as far as we need to go. 25 won't work, 16 won't work, but 9 will. 9 times what gives me? 9 times 3. So I'm going to get root 9 times 3. Square root of 9 is? 3. So I get 3 square root of 3 is my exact answer. Okay? Any questions on those? All right, so 4, 5, and 6 I'm going to use the quadratic formula with, and we're going to keep it as a radical. And then 7, 8, and 9, we're going to change the rules a little bit, but when we get there, it'll make more sense. Okay, so problem number 4. First thing we have to know is x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. All right? So the quiz Thursday, you need to have this memorized. If you don't, you miss a point. Okay? So, let's see. So my problem is 2x squared plus 5x plus 3 is equal to 0. So item 1, when we're using the quadratic formula, is it equal to 0? Yes. So now we can start thinking about where we plug it in. So this is my a value, this is my b value, and this is my c value. Agree? Let's plug into the quadratic, make sure we go along. Now, here's the tough part about the quadratic equation. Some of you want to say, oh, I can do it in my head. There's a lot of signs up there. You might make an error. Okay, I've been teaching for a long time, and I've seen a lot of people make a lot of errors. So I have the negative that goes with the b, so my b value is 5, plus or minus 5 squared minus 4. My a value is 2, my c value is 3, and it's all over 2 times 2. Does it make sense where all those numbers came from? Where did that 4 come from? Well, it's one of the constants. It's always going to be there. Where did this 2 come from? Again, it's one of the constants. Okay? So I have negative 5, okay, plus or minus 5 squared, 25. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. Negative 8 times 3 is negative 24, all over 4. I think this is going to work out nicely. Why is that? Well, I get the square root of 1. What's the square root of 1? What's the square root of 1? 1. So where did the square root sign go? Well, I took the square root of 1 and got 1. So now do the arithmetic here. Negative 5 plus 1 is negative 4, so I get negative 4 over 4. So that's negative 1. And then negative 5 minus 1 is negative 6, and that's over 4. Reduce your fraction, negative 3 over 2. There's your 2 answers. This one would have factored if we had factored it. Okay, why is that? Well, anytime you have a perfect square under the radical, which is called the discriminant, but that's something later. That means if it was perfect square, it would have been factored. That's the first problem. Is that okay? That was problem what? 3, 4? May I move to the next problem? Problem number 5. Again, we need to know that x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay. Why do I sing it? Well, because I have a horrible voice, but I act like I can sing. So, all right. So then I have let's see, x squared plus 2x minus 13 is equal to 0. First question: is the whole thing equal to 0? Yes. Second question, what are my letters? Well, my a value is 1, my b value is 2, and my c value is negative 13. Carry the signs, please. So let's plug them in. X equals negative b, so negative 2 plus or minus square root b squared minus 4 times a times c, all divided by 2 times a. Do you agree? It's a formula. We're just plugging it in. Negative 2 stays as is for right now. Plus or minus 2 squared is 4. Then I get negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 13 is going to be positive. 4 times 13 is 52 over 2. Do the arithmetic inside here. So 4 added to 52 is, I believe, 56, right? Okay. So now we need to see if we can break down root 56. Remember when we broke down radicals before, earlier today? So let's see if we can break down root 56. Let's see. I have 4, I have 9, I have 16, I have 25, 36, 49, 64. Let's start crossing off ones we don't need. I don't need that one. 49 is not going to work. 30, nope. 25 times 2 is 50. Nope, that's not going to work. Does 16 work? 56 divided by 16? Everybody want to try that? No? Oh, it doesn't work. Okay. Does 9 work? 56 divided by 9? 8. 9 times 8 is 72. 9 times 6 is 54. 9's not going to work. Does 4 work? 4 times what gives me 56? 4 times what gives me 56? 14. Thank you. So square root of 4 is what? 2. So I get 2 root 14. So this 2 root 14 right here is going to plug in right here. Okay? So I'm going to exchange out root 56 for 2 root 14. Does that make sense? So I'm going to get negative 2 plus or minus. Now I'm going to put 2 root 14 in place over the 2 original. When we reduce these, I can reduce anywhere inside. I cannot reduce anything that's captured inside here, but anything outside. So these 2's all cancel. This root 14 is like in jail. You can't spring it out of jail. Okay, so let's see. 2 goes into self once, 2 goes into there once, 2 goes into there once. So I wind up with negative 1 plus or minus 1 root 14. This is what x is equal to. So that's leaving it as an exact answer. Do you see places you could make errors up there? Absolutely. You know, people are like, dude, I could do the whole thing in my head. Okay. Good luck. You know what I say that? So the students that say they can do it in their head, your test is easy to grade. So they look for a right or wrong answer. It's like, wrong. It's not like kind of wrong. It's just like you have symbols and stuff, you know, star and asterisk, exclamation points.
Yes. Group 17.
All right, number 6. Number 6, before we started, we have to go x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. You all can sing along if you'd like. You might hear people humming it come Thursday. Number 6 is x squared plus 6x minus 5 is equal to 0. So first thing is our whole problem equal to 0? Yes, it is. My a value is going to be 1. My b value is going to be 6. My c value is negative 5. Make sure you bring your signs along, agree? Now let's plug them all in. X is equal to negative b, so negative 6 plus or minus b squared, 6 squared minus 4 times a, which is 1, c, which is negative 5, all divided by 2 times a, which is 2 times 1. Feel comfortable with that? Again, we're not doing it in our head because sometimes we might make errors. So negative 6 stays as is. 6 squared is 36. Let's see. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 5 is positive 20. Didn't we just do this time? Root 56? Didn't we just find out root 56 was something? Root 56 was equal to 4 times 14. Is that what it was? So 2 root 14. So I'm going to plug 2 root 14. This gets plugged in right here. Is that all right? So I get negative 6 plus or minus 2 root 14 over 2. You can reduce everything outside. So 2 goes into self once, 2 goes in there once, goes in there 3 times. So my exact answer is negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 14 all over 1. That's what x is equal to. How many answers is this? 2 answers. You have a positive and negative component, okay? Negative 3 plus or minus root 14. Feel okay about it? All right, the next 3 problems that we're going to do a little bit different. Nothing bad, but what we're going to do is we're actually going to find the square root to 2 decimal places. So that's going to give us an approximate answer. Is that okay? I want you to feel comfortable doing it. The directions sometimes will ask you to do it one way or the other. May I move to the next slide, please? All right, so problem number 7, and we know that x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And the number 7's problem is x squared minus 2x plus 7 equals 0. Okay, is it equal to 0? Yep. Is it ready to go for the quadratic? Yep. My a value is 1. My b value is negative 2. And my c value is 7. Okay, so make sure you keep the signs. Plug on in. So I get negative b. What's going to happen there? It's going to become positive. Good. And a lot of errors will take place here. You're plugging negative 2 into b squared, so your answer there will become 4. And then minus 4ac all divided by 2 times a. Is that okay? Let's start cleaning it up. Negative 2 is positive 2. And then negative 2 as a quantity squared is 4 minus 28 over 2. Uh-oh. What's the answer?
No solution.
No, what kind of solution? No real solution. So guys and girls, I want you to see this. So on this one, I said, hey, we want to find what the decimal equivalent is on the calculator. So let's figure out what the square root of negative 24 is on the calculator. Because surely the calculator will be able to do this for us. Oops, clear. Uh-oh. That's my answer. Error, non-real answers. In real mode, all calculations must result in a real number. Okay? So this is the message you should be getting on these calculators unless you've changed all your modes, which is not the best thing to do. So this right here tells you the answer to this problem. We have no real solution for this answer. Okay, for the quiz on Thursday, that's all I want you to get. I think one of them on the test has one no real solution answer. Of course, you're going to get the one kid who can put no real solution all the way through going, dude, I got one right. And my name is correct this time too. All right, so no real solution on this one, so you can't really use the calculator. Number 8. X is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2. Okay. Number 8, we have x squared minus 3x plus 1 equals 0. What's my a value? 1. What's my b value? Negative 3. My c value? Everyone agree? Alright, so I get x equals negative and then plugging b in, so negative 3 plus or minus the square root, negative 3 quantity squared, minus 4 times the 1 times the c value, all over 2 times 1. Negative 3 is? 3 plus or minus, let's see, negative 3 quantity squared is positive 9, minus negative 4 times 1 times 1 is negative 4. So I get negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 5 over 2. That's a nice exact answer, but I want to know what the square root of 5 is equal to 2 decimals. Okay? The square root of 5 to 2 decimals. So bust out the calculator. Let's go quick. Second square root of 5. So the 2 decimal places, what is the square root of 5 equal to? Almost. 2 decimals. 2.24. Rounded up, right? So 2.24 rounded up. So the square root of 5 is equal to 2.24. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to replace this with it. So I'm going to get 3 plus or minus 2.24 over 2. There's 2 answers here. So let's see, my first answer is going to be 3 plus 2.24, so 5.24 over 3. My second answer is going to be, what is it? Is it over 2? Oh, it's over 2. I don't know where that 3 just came from. Thank you. That should be over 2 right there. And then 3 minus 2.24, I believe it's negative 0.7, or wait, it's 0.76, I think. Do you agree? Negative 3, or 3 minus 2.24, 0.76, is that right? I hope. All right, let's go for it. On the calculator, 5.24 divided by 2 comes out to 2.62. There's one answer. And then this is going to become 0.38. So these are my decimal approximates There's two answers there. Those are my two answers. That's approximately where it crosses the x-axis when I graph it. Is that okay? What's the difference between doing it this way and this way? So you're doing a decimal approximate because sometimes it's trying hard to figure out where 3 plus root 5 over 2 is and where 3 minus root 5 over 2 is on a number line. You can see the decimal approximation pretty easily. May I move on? We good? You ready? Number 9. Number 9. X is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2. Number 9 is the problem we'll do. Moving it on the door. Mr. Stirrup is the door. Oh man, I'm so good. Alright, first thing, is it equal to 0?
Yeah.
Yep. What's my A value? 3. B value?
-11.
Good. And C value?
-2.
Okay, so my A value is 3, my B value is -11, my C value is -2. Is that okay? Good. Alright. X equals -11, so that's going to become positive, right? -11 squared minus 4. My A value is 3. My C value is -2. All over 2 times 3. Agree with how I plugged it in? We have to be wary of some signs. So I have -11, so that's going to be 11 plus or minus. -11 squared is 121. -4 times 3 is -12. -12 times 2 is what? How much? Positive 24. Negative, positive, negative. Okay. Over 6. So then I get 11 plus or minus 1. What is that? Is that right? 145. Okay. Over 6. So let's figure out the decimal approximate of a 145. So 2 decimal places, okay? So root 145. Enter. 2 decimal places is 12.04. Okay, 12.04. So this is about 12.04. So again, I'm going to take this and I'm going to substitute it in right here. So I get 11 plus or minus 12.04 over 6. So let's use the calculator on this one. 11 plus 12.04 divided by 6. 11 plus, what was it? 12.04 over, okay, enter, over 6. Was it over 6? So 3.84 for one answer. There's one answer. And then 11. Oops. 11 minus 12.04. Right? Divided by 6. So negative 0.17. There's our approximate answers. So when should you do this and when should you keep it as a radical? Follow if the instructions say, hey, do this as a radical, or hey, do this as a decimal. Okay? One last problem I'm going to do is just on the second page. we'll just do number 10. So we get x squared minus 2x minus equals 2. So we know that x is equal to negative b plus or minus squared root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Is this equal to 0?
No.
No. What should we do to make it equal to 0?
Subtract 2.
Subtract 2. So this is what we need to base it on. Does everyone get that?
Yeah.
So a is equal to 1, b is equal to negative 2, c is equal also to negative 2. So I get x equals negative 2 plus or minus negative 2 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 2 all over 2 times a. Negative 2 is 2 plus or minus 4 plus 8 over 2. 2 plus or minus root 12 over 2. Let's just make root 12. That's going to break down to as 4 times 3, which is going to be 2 root 3. So I'm going to plug this in right here. 2 plus or minus 2 root 3 over 2. I can reduce everything by 2. So my exact answer is 1 plus or minus the square root of 3. And that's where it crosses the x-axis exactly. Feel okay about this? So we're going to have a quiz on Thursday. Your assignment for tonight will be page 149 and 150. And you're just going to focus on 1 through 17. Odd. Now please be aware that some of these problems want the answer left as a radical, and some of the problems want you to take it to 2 decimal places. Take it to 2 decimal places, actually work it out. Okay, if you want to take it down to a radical, make sure you break the radical down and reduce where you can. So again, holy moly, guacamole, we're flying. We got this week, we got a quiz Thursday, that's on May 3rd. Oh cool, Friday's May the 4th, be with you. Yeah! And then we have all of next week is just going through this stuff. May 14th, we'll do the take-home test. May 15th will be the in-class test. May 16th and 17th, we're reviewing. May 18th, we actually start, we have an in-class portion of the final. It's a regular class period. And then after that, oh my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen, my friends, we are coming to the close of the school year quickly.
Whoa.
Quickly. It's going to be summer. We'll be swimming at the pools before we know it.